So why is it that God seems a little different in the Old Testament than he does in the New Testament? There's really two answers to the question. The first answer is that he doesn't. All of God's attributes that you see in the New Testament, you also see in the Old Testament. That he is patient. That he does relent from sending calamity. That he is forgiving and merciful. That when people who go headlong into rebellion against him, if and when they finally turn around and come back to them, no matter how far they've run, he will welcome them back. We see a God who is holy, who does hold people accountable for what they do with their life. We see all of the attributes of God that we see in the New Testament. But on the other hand, God does seem different, and there's a reason why. He had a different goal in the Old Testament. His goal was to preserve a people from which he would bless the world. And since that was his goal, and they lived surrounded by cultures that were pagan, surrounded by cultures that were godless, he would not take his eye off the prize of saying all of the events of human history are leading up to one point in history when my son, Jesus, will be born. And God, who created, had his eye on that goal through the entire Old Testament era. And when you look at the entire arc of the storyline, that's what you see God doing, lining up all the events of the world to get to that event. And since that was God's goal, we see him behaving at times a little differently than in the New Testament. The result is we get this collection of ancient documents that are raw, that are gritty, that tell of real life history. The history is fascinating. But we don't apologize for it or worry about it because we see God at work to do exactly what he promised he would do.